Well, Dennis Quaid is taking on perhaps the biggest role of his career, playing Ronald Reagan in the movie Reagan, the upcoming drama based on the life and times of our 40th president. I had the chance to sit down with Dennis Quaid at the Reagan Library in Simi Valley to talk about his new project. Dennis, great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me, Trace.
It's fascinating when you look at the movie and you look at the timing, how this worked out. I mean,
yeah.
It's kind of amazing because we know that it got stopped a couple of times because of COVID. You started shooting this back in 2020.
Right.
Here we are in 2024, and it's being released at this unbelievable time in politics. Maybe the most historic time in politics we've seen.
I had one kind of maxim in my mind was that please don't let this movie come out during an election year. And, you know, because I didn't want it to be perceived a politically or used that way, but
yeah.
And you know, the world has really changed. It's turned upside down and then turned right side up again since we started making it. And it turns out it's coming out in an election year, and it's a great time for it to come out. And so what do I know?
It's kind of interesting you said that you didn't intend, or you and your team didn't intend for this to be a political movie, and
no.
Now it's an election year. I'm wondering what your takeaway, what you intended the takeaway to be from this movie.
Well, you know, Reagan was a uniter. He really was. I mean, and, you know, there were also, he was like everybody's dad, and, you know, for better or worse, too. And there were people who called him warmonger and all that stuff. But he won the Cold War and, you know, brought peace. And it's the story of a man.
Yeah.
And one of the great men of the 20th century. And, you know, who he was at the core and what he meant to all of us. Also, people forget Reagan was a Democrat first.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And there was that term, Reagan Democrats, back in the day. And it was also at a time, I'm sure you remember this, we had conservative Democrats. We had liberal Republicans. It was a different world,
right,
where it wasn't so polarized as it is today. And if anything, I sure would like to see us get back a little closer to that.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think Ronald Reagan would make of Donald Trump?
But that is really tough. That is a tough one that I don't know if I don't even know if I can answer that one.
Okay.
But you know, it's like, we'll say this, it's Donald Trump, his principles are pretty close to Reagan in the sense of those things that he was for, and but the principles that I think, because I'm one of those that thinks that Donald Trump is actually a very principled man.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you have said many times.
Reagan governed by principles, and I think that's what went beyond politics.
I just want to, I can't resist. I'm supposed to quit right here. But, yes. But in view of the fast things that I just said, I don't know whether you know it or not, but I have a new hobby. I am collecting stories that I can actually prove are told among the Russian people. They make them up themselves, they tell them between themselves, reveals they got a great sense of humor, and they've also got a little cynical attitude about things in their country. And one of these stories, the one I'm going to tell you, I told to General Secretary Gorbachev, and he laughed. The story was an American and a Russian arguing about their two countries, and the American said, look, in my country, I can walk into the Oval Office, I can pound the president's desk and say, Mr. President, I don't like the way you're running our country. And the Russian said, I can do that. The American said, you can? He says, yes. I can go into the Kremlin, to the General Secretary's office, pound his desk and say, Mr. General Secretary, I don't like the way President Reagan's running his country.
Speaker, Mr. President, distinguished members of the Congress, honored guests, and fellow citizens. Today marks my first State of the Union address to you, a constitutional duty as old as our republic itself. President Washington began this tradition in 1790 after reminding the nation that the destiny of self-government and the preservation of the sacred fire of liberty is finally staked on the experiment entrusted to the hands of the American people. For our friends in the press who place a high premium on accuracy, let me say, I did not actually hear George Washington say that.
Действительно так сложилось. У меня в Италии и с ним всегда были дружеские отношения, и с Берлускони, с которым они постоянно конфликтуют на политической сцене. И Берлускони судят сейчас за то, что он живет с женщинами. Если бы он был бы гомосексуалистом, ему пальцем бы никто не тронул.
Billionaire Elon Musk, recently appointed to President Trump's cabinet as Transportation Secretary and Border Czar, is now he is rounding up asylum seekers like cattle into his rocket ships. He calls them illegal aliens. The problem is the rockets keep exploding.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. One of the hallmarks of our modern society is that parody is indistinguishable from reality. It's really hard to write SNL when Joe Biden's falling down the stairs and crapping himself on live TV when Kamala Harris is speaking like a 4-year-old, which is actually exactly what the Babylon Bee did in a parody ad about Kamala Harris. And this was released like a year ago. The Babylon Bee went thermonuclear viral by saying some little 6-year-old, 4-year-old is Kamala Harris's speechwriter.
Every politics person has a writer, like me, to make good words for them to say.
Space is exciting. Space, it affects us all. And it connects us all.
I got that idea when I was thinking about space and how big it is. Man, it's big. It's not all fun, though. Sometimes I have to write about bad stuff, like war.
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
That's wrong. So basically, that's bad. Meet Kamala Harris, a 6-year-old speechwriter. This is a banger from the Babylon Bee. When this was released in December of 2022, it got millions of views and, went totally viral. Anyway, the Babylon Bee is right. It's like evergreen tweet, right? Like just send one per morning. And we know Seth and all the team at the Babylon Bee. They're amazing people. So Babylon Bee is right, and Kamala is beyond parody. And what they're doing right now to try and shove Kamala, without doing any interviews, without doing any betting, without getting a single vote, across the finish line, based entirely on media hype, promotion, and cackling clips, and rappers twerking on stage like we saw the other night. That's it. That's the entire campaign. Now, Kamala Harris is ripe for parody. A parody video of Kamala Harris' campaign ad was posted by this account, and it's amazing. It's amazingly, amazingly well done. Let's go ahead and give him a follow. Here is the action. Here's the ad, and it's was posted by Elon Musk. And this ad went thermonuclear. It has close to 140 million views, 245,000 reposts, and a million likes. Holy smokes. All right, baby, here we go. This is the most viral ad of the election cycle so far, the Kamala Harris parody.
Kamala Harris, and your Democrat candidate for president, because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility at the debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color. So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist. I may not know the first thing about running the country, but remember, that's a good thing If you're a deep state puppet, I had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet, a wonderful mentor, Joe Biden. Joe taught me rule number 1, carefully hide your total incompetence. I take insignificant things and I discuss them as if they're significant. And I believe that exploring the significance of the insignificant is in itself significant.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time.
Another trick is trying to sound black. I pretend to celebrate Kwanzaa, and in my speeches, I always do my best Barack Obama impression.
So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
And okay, look, maybe my work addressing the root causes of the border crisis were catastrophic, but my knowledge of international politics is truly shocking.
The United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. It is an alliance that is strong and enduring.
And just remember, when voting this November, it is important to see what can be, unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean Joe Biden. Do you think the country went to over the past 4 years? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Ooh, baby. Man, what a absolute...
From the bottom, through the cracks of the light pour in. Have a blast, got the drinks pour in. Take a risk like it's a short thing. Going in, yeah, I'm going all in. Getting through out, yeah, you can bring your friends.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. We have to cover a lot of embarrassing, humiliating, degrading, truly, utterly cringe moments in American politics. And there are so many. There are some traditions that are quite humiliating, like pancake flipping contests and guess the height of the corn, Iowa State Fair stuff. A lot of local stuff that's silly and often degrading. But there's nothing worse. No regular tradition, no thing that regularly happens in American politics is worse than the fake Southern accent that pandering Democrats use. And it doesn't matter their race. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, or Joe Biden. The fake foghorn leghorn accent that Democrats use when they are in the black church, or speaking to a majority black audience. We've been seeing it for years. I've actually been seeing it since Hillary Clinton was like just wandering around trying to run for president in 2008. That's how old this clip is. You're talking 15-year-old clip. Here's Hillary.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy.
Mahalia Jackson? An early Aretha? No. That was the gospel icon Hillary Clinton of Illinois.
So yeah, if you think that legacy is going to stop with the panderingest of panderers, and remember, you only pander to people when you want to lie to them. You know, being your authentic self is being truthful, talking about who you are. I thought the Democrat Party was all about being your authentic self, right? I thought, wasn't that the point? Isn't that the point? Be who you were born to be. Whoever you choose to be. Like, all right, well, wouldn't lying to people and genuflecting or reflecting, like, you know, if you think they're low IQ or talking more stupid or using more incorrect English, like, wouldn't that degrade the people you're talking to? Doesn't that say so much more about what you think those people are? And again, you gotta ask the question, like, why would you want to elect somebody who would do that to you? Like, who would openly lie to you? Question 4. Not me. Not me. I don't like Kamala Harris. I don't like Joe Biden. We gon' do it again in 2024, says Kamala Harris yesterday. Kamala seems to have developed a sudden onset urban accent, the condition that the last female presidential candidate famously suffered from. Here we go.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. Let's
Harris quoting rappers. Always a great look. Kamala Harris now using her fake accent to try and throw shade at Trump over the border. As my friend Quavo would say, this is a rapper, right? Famous rapper. He does not walk it like he talk it.
Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk. Or as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it.
I clapped. I don't know why I'm clapping, but I clapped. Like seals at lunchtime at SeaWorld. But what is applause worthy of all of that? I'm not exactly certain. But I am certain of one thing. That there was something that happened in the Kamala Harris event yesterday. That is, first off, the reason that there's anybody in the stands in the first place. All right? As a famous rapper and clearly fan of equestrian culture named Megan Thee Stallion. Now, Megan Thee Stallion opened the Kamala Harris event with what can only be described as a extremely uncomfortable, confusing, and very cringe-inducing twerk fest on stage with what seems to be a costumed, like, office girl, like cheap adult film office girl outfits. Not sure. Don't know. That's not my thing. But apparently this is a thing for the Democrat Party that really gets out the vote, ladies and gentlemen, or twerks out the vote. Let's go.
Hey, yeah.
Those are not real mic phones.
Body crazy, curvy, wait. Yeah. Body crazy, curvy, wait. Look at how I body that. Ate it up and gave it back. Yeah, you look good, but they still wanna know. See me in that dress and he felt like he almost tasted that. Num, eat it up. Hope they okay, 3, 2, 1. You know I'm the hottest, you ain't never got it. I'm present when I'm. What we talking about over here, y'all? Hey, if you love your body, let me hear you make some noise. And if you want to keep loving your body, ladies, let me hear you make some noise. Hey, body crazy, curvy, wait. Yeah. Body crazy, curvy, wait. Yeah. They gon' click it if it's me. All my bitches been getting these through the quarantine. I'm very well, come out, as you can tell. Any got beef from years ago, it's beefing by herself. I'm the real creep too. Yeah. Rule number 1, don't repeat that. Rule number 2, if they all came with you. Yeah. Make some noise now. Whoa. Hey, yeah.
Am I old? Is this like more of a reflection on me? Is this what you're into? Is this what the kids are into? I'm okay being old. I'm all right with that. I'm okay. I do not listen to rap music. Okay? Well, we can begin by saying I don't listen to rap music. So maybe this ain't my thing. Music is like a musical taste, kind of thing, and maybe you're just not into it. I listen to country music. I listen to some classical music every once in a while. But generally country music. Johnny Cash. Morgan Wallen. Luke Combs. Kind of Zach Bryan. That's generally what's playing in my house. Not this. Am I out of touch? I don't know. I'm not saying that the music I listen to is like some type of like galaxy brain genius stuff, but I don't listen to music with lyrics like, all my pictures been getting N-words through the quarantine. I'm very well on my as you could tell, Ayo Hot got beef from years ago, beefing by herself. If we took a trip on Real Creep Tit.
Cuidado. Cuidado. Mira esto.
Hey, what happened?
Mira esto.
I, Kamala Harris, am your Democrat candidate for president because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility at the debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color. So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist. I may not know the first thing about running the country, but remember, that's a good thing if you're a deep state puppet. I had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet, a wonderful mentor, Joe Biden. Joe taught me rule number 1, carefully hide your total incompetence. I take insignificant things and I discuss them as if they're significant. And I believe that exploring the significance of the insignificant is in itself significant.
Vladimir Putin strode into town.
Почему раньше здесь не было людей, которые способны были принимать решения? Почему здесь-то забегали все как тараканы перед самым моим приездом?
Unlike Medvedev, Putin confronted the factory owners.
Считаю, что вы сделали заложниками своих амбиций, непрофессионализма, а может быть просто и тривиальной жадности. Тысячи людей. Это абсолютно недопустимо. Если собственники договориться между собой не смогут, то единый комплекс все равно будет восстановлен. В том или в другом виде, то это будет сделано без вас.
He demanded the owners, including billionaire Oleg Deripaska, sign an undertaking to restart the factories.
Вы подписали этот договор? Да. Олег Владимирович подписал? Что я не вижу вашей подписи. Идите, пишите. Идите ко мне. Да, договор. Только вторичку мне, видите?
Classic Putin. But if a country